Finally have Adit here. I don't know what he was doing before. Let's meet Geet again, and that's AJ.
AJ's got his necessary comb.
Very good, very good.
I should introduce you all to pan gesture cancer.
Pan gesture cancer. Tell us.
Yeah.
Do we want to pull it up on the app side by side?
Yeah. Someone bring the shitty version up.
Someone just bring Google Photos up. Google Photos is going to be like a scapegoat today.
Yeah. We're just gonna shit on Google Photos throughout.
Correct.
Okay. So, Adit, tell me, why is pan gesture so cancerous?
So, why are pan gestures so cancerous? So first thing, Apple's default sheet does not allow you to interact with the background when the sheet is in half mode.
What does that mean? Show it to me. Do you have Google Photos on?
Let me
He's literally downloading it. Yeah,
He's
dude,
downloading
we're
Google
literally
Photos to
downloading
shit
this. Shit on them, bro. No, but fair enough. Tell us. Yeah.
Yeah, so interacting with the background is impossible, and clearly we need to interact with the background because we have the entire map at the background. Other than that, the default Apple sheet has this weird reaction to you swiping vigorously down from the top. This is something we need to show, definitely.
Of course. Do we have a video of it on your laptop?
Hold up, let me pull it up.
Lovely. Because Adit's been working on this for quite some time. And it would be, you would consider that something as trivial as pulling a sheet on the map and having multiple layers on top of each other would be easy. But seemingly it's very, very hard, especially given the infrastructure that we have. So here's a clip of how bad Google Photos is.
So yeah, this is you interacting with the background. Oh wait, you're not.
Yeah, you can't interact with the background once this bottom sheet is pulled out.
Another thing is this weird reaction I was talking about.
Which is once the sheet is pulled up, you just can't pull it down. There's this incredible resistance to it, and that makes the interaction very,
This
very...
only happens when you swipe down fast for some reason.
Yeah. So there's not much control over it. So the issue with Apple is they have given us very core basic elements, except any customization on top of that is completely landlocked. We're not allowed to do anything beyond that. So given the infrastructure of Dabble, as you saw in the earlier pods, pulling up the sheet and down, interacting with the map behind ambiently is very core to our
Here we go.
functionality. Very
This is
simple,
Dabble
right?
sheet.
So we have
Here's
a sheet
the
on
map
top.
in the background.
Yeah. Can we show them how pressing another image changes the stack? Let's increase the date range first.
Alright, this is all I have though. I can show the feature nonetheless.
Lovely. So he's moving around on the map, and very seamlessly the grid view is changing. So you don't even have to click on the images. Yes, you saw that. So of course there's some flicker, there's a few bugs for us to fix, but that will be fairly trivial to, well, maybe not as trivial as I'm thinking, but that shouldn't be too hard to fix. It's a very seamless experience of clicking on different images on the stack and then finding a response on the map. And as you can see, we can clearly respond to it ambiently. Explain, Adit. Let's go further.
Alright. So as you can see, that weird behavior I was talking about before obviously doesn't happen in this sheet. So what you know is this is not the default Apple sheet for one, right? So the thing is, making these customizations to a sheet is, you would assume, easy, right? But due to how closed source most of Apple's code is, this is actually ridiculously hard. So what we've done is we've made our own custom sheet where we override Apple's hit test, the function Apple uses to assign a view to a touch.
What do you mean override? How do you override an Apple hit test?
Oh, we have to just write our own code.
So you're
based
saying
on-
the entire sheet is like ours?
Well, with that, you'd be surprised how not ours it is still.
How much of it is ours? How much of it is Apple?
I'm getting there. So now we have some control over the hit test, right? We can assign whatever view we want to whatever touch we have. So although for us to logically decide which view a touch should go to, we should know which direction the pan is in, correct?
Yes.
So what something else that should be like really easy, deciding the direction of a pan, is also ridiculously hard.
Why?
This is because there's also something called a pan gesture recognizer that Apple does not allow us to access. So recognizing something as simple as whether a pan is up or down in a hit test, which is like really crucial in deciding which view the touch goes to, is not possible. So what we do is we create our own pan gesture recognizer. We have code for our own
We're just
pan
putting it up.
gesture recognizer.
So you're telling me that even figuring out whether you're swiping up and down is something that we literally can't get access to from Apple.
Because
We
we
can't
can't
get it during
access
the
the
hit
pan
test.
gesture recognizer. And Here's our pan gesture recognizer. Here, we've basically overridden all its functions. We've overridden touch as began, touch as moved, touch as ended, touch as cancelled, reset, everything.
So you're saying all of the gesture recognition is completely in-house? Oh wow. Oh wow. And so just to make the sheet interacting on the background and for it not to be resistive on the top, we have to figure out how pans move up and down.
Correct.
Bro, that's
Also, the general system of how a gesture recognizer takes a touch is we need its parent gesture recognizer to fail for it to get the touch, right?
oh wow.
So we need to actually manually make the parent gesture recognizer fail based on conditions that we set in these overridden functions. So if say we detect that we need to actually scroll the sheet and not pan the sheet, we make the pan gesture recognizer of Dabble sheet fail so that the scroll view can take the gesture.
And how long did all of this take?
Well, as you know, it probably took like weeks.
Weeks? How much time? How much time was that?
This is like a lot of hours, dude. This is like
Lot of hours.
So
And
a
then
lot of the
during
week has been spent not on actually implementing the current version, but just on research and trying to understand how everything works in Apple.
So- Right.
Because not only is figuring out which view gets the gesture hard, there is no consistent source about how Apple's gesture recognizers work. I have seen 3 different books. All of those books have different order of operations of how Apple works. So effectively, nobody knows what's going on.
So at
We
this
have just
point, what
tested.
we've done is we've resorted to building hit tests of our own, figuring out from the ground up by experimenting how Apple works, and we've quit Apple.
Yeah.
Like moving back to the
Yeah.
same point, that this is really
Going
just
back to
Dabble
the
OS.
roots, man.
They're going back to the roots.
C for the win.
C for the win.
I
So
mean,
it's very interesting because you would assume
just implementing the solution isn't really that time consuming. It's coming up with this stuff because like who would have known that this is what fails and this is what we need to actually customize, right?
There are
This-
many different solutions we tried, didn't we?
Yeah,
Because
correct.
me and Adit were the ones who were working on the Dabble sheet prototypes. One of our prototypes was basically creating a new view every time you try to scroll on a scroll view, and our new view basically stole the scroll view. And so it stole the scroll view's delegate, and whenever we were scrolling, the new view were actually doing some calculations to figure out whether you should let the scroll view scroll. And the new view was actually the real scroll view, and the new view was controlling the scroll view secretly and not letting the touch go to the
Dude,
actual scroll view.
So now that AJ has given you terminal brain damage,
So we
yeah,
have
man,
tried
this
many
was
solutions.
like tons of iterating, tons of proxy views, tons of proxy gesture recognizers. None of them have any meaning anymore. Like,
that's crazy. That's crazy. Okay. This is like going over my head. I'll just cut it over here. We'll just wait for the next spot to figure out what else we've kind of dealt with.